All right, VA fam, we are back with another one of your questions. This question comes from listener Kim, who hit us up on IG. Kim says, "Hey, Mandi and Tiffany, I'm a new listener to your podcast. Thank you for all you do. Your podcast is everything." Thank you, Kim. "My dilemma is with Navient. Shake my head. I've been paying $525 a month on a $21,000 loan from 2007 that is now has a current balance of $37,000. My balance isn't going anywhere. Can you guys recommend a great company that I can refinance my private loans with?" Whew. When she said private, it made sense. Like, ouch.
Because I was like, when she said refinance, I was going to say, we don't recommend around these parts. We don't talk about no. We don't recommend around here refinancing your federal student loans, especially, like that moratorium saved plenty of lives. When you have federal loans, that means when things happen with the economy at large or whatever, you potentially can have assistance and aid. We'll know by August 31st whether or not there's going to be an erasure of some student loan, federal student loan debt by the federal government. So there are protections that are in place for federal student loans, and you cannot refinance with the federal government. So if you refinance a federal student loan, you refinance out of federal protection into a private loan. But that's not what's happening here. Like, this is great. So we just want to make sure that what advice we're giving to Kim is because she's going from private to private, not private to federal.
Yeah, and let's be clear too. People who have private loans, and whether that's credit card debt or a personal loan that's not or an unsecured loan that's not a fixed, doesn't have a fixed rate, or a private student loan, you're susceptible to those variable interest rates. And with the Fed increasing rates, debt is getting so much more expensive. So I think this question's really timely, Kim, because if people out there, you have private student loan debt and you haven't refinanced it yet because rates are increasing, check your rate and see how much more it is. And then definitely shopping around to see if you are eligible to refinance. So just in a nutshell, when you refinance, you are basically getting another lender to cut you a check for the debt that you owe. And now you owe a new debt to that lender. And the idea is that you're going to have a lower interest rate. So it's going to be less expensive debt than what you had before. Sometimes you can negotiate other terms, like maybe if the term of your loan, you have to have it paid back in, 12 years, maybe you can refinance it and they'll give you 20 years, which will make your payments smaller. That being said, when it comes to student loan refinancing, I think the important thing is to understand you can shop around and compare rates. So just like any other kind of loan, that's my first thing I would recommend. You can go to a website called Student Loan Hero. There's also credible.com. These are two student loan marketplaces. Full disclosure, I used to work for. I managed the content team behind Student Loan Hero, but they are one of the best, okay? But they have a marketplace where you can search for, especially lenders that'll let you get pre-approved or pre-qualify, which means they'll do a soft pull, which won't go on your credit report. And then they'll give you an example of a rate that you may get. And that can help you. Just shop and compare different lenders and just make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into.
Yeah. So yes, refinancing is probably going to be, I don't know what Navient's interest rate is. Obviously, the number one rule with refinancing is make sure you get a lower interest rate, but make sure it also makes sense. I would also compare, because Navient should have some sort of statement that says, this is how much you end up paying in the end if you continue to pay whatever your minimum payment is. So I would also compare how much more, because to Mandy's point, you might go from 12 years to 30 years, but does that mean you're going to tack on another $10,000 on your loan? So first and foremost, can you get a lower interest rate, but then what it's going to cost you overall? And then you just decide whether or not it's worth the cost, and then mosey on over. Also, too, make sure you're not trying to buy a house or a car anytime soon, because this is going to be a hard pull when you finally decide to move forward with whatever. So make sure you don't have any other need for your credit in the next few months, like major need, like a house. You don't want to, I don't want your realtor cussing us out like, what the hell?
I don't think they would.
That's the worst thing to do.
Excuse me, my name is Becky. I'm Kim's realtor, and on August 15th, you gave her some shitty advice. No.
So just be mindful of that, because sometimes people don't think, because oftentimes people are trying to get their student loans together because they want to purchase a home or something, which is great. So if you're 6 months to a year out or whatever, fine. But if it's in a few months or a few days, not fine. So just keep that in mind too.
I'm trying to think what else you should look out for. Be clear on whether or not you want a fixed rate or a variable rate. Variable means it can go up and down. Right now, a fixed is probably the way to go. because of the fact that the Fed is continuing to raise rates, or it looks like they may. What else? Starting, I know that right now you're feeling like $37,000, this balance is not going anywhere. If you can get to a place where you can start, contributing more to the loan, looking for additional sources of income, I mean, that's the way to chip away at it much faster. I know it feels overwhelming, but increasing income or finding additional streams of income is going to be like the real that, and being able to reduce your rate. Obviously, those are the two best ways to tackle that student loan debt, the private student loan debt, as soon as possible. But you're not alone, Miss Kim, and thank you so much for sending your question in.
So that's our show for today. Ooh, ooh, ooh. If you have questions, you can hit us up on all of our socials, Brown Ambition Podcast on Insta, the BA Podcast on Twitter, and brownambitionpodcast.com. You can ask us anything. And I can't promise we're going to get to all of them, but we will get to as many as possible. We like to switch between like money questions, career questions, your financial questions at large. And business questions for sure. I like answering those. If you have a business, career, money question, life question, child, we can even do
Just be anonymous. We won't put all your business out there.
Yes, but do a fun name. If you're going to be anonymous, say Sassy in Seattle, something, we like to do those.
All right, Tiff, well, go get some rest the vocal cords. Thank you for making it through the show on the mend from COVID and all, but still looking fabulous.
Thank you.
And we will see y'all next week. Bye, BA fam.
Bye. Hey, BA fam. We're on YouTube. Woohoo! Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel.
And while you're at it, why don't you go over to that little bell icon and just tap that for us. Show the BA fam how much you love us. And that way you'll also get notifications when new videos drop. Also, share the channel with a friend. We're always like, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And thank y'all so much again for all the support.